Hello traders, welcome to ChrisFX. Today I have yet another video for you based on liquidity, and with this video we are gonna be showing the real move. If you want, you can check out the previous video, which you can see on the top right of your screen right now, and see that even if we don't get this huge of a movement, but if we only get such movement, we can still make profits with the exceptional and unique methods that I am teaching. Anyways, this pattern is one of the strongest things that you have ever seen, and it does happen on every single time frame, so you don't even need to be on the 4-hour time frame always. Okay, the pattern is like that. So you would be expecting to see something like that, let's say. So there is some kind of consolidation taking place, and I will show you a couple of examples. Then, of course, you would see some minor reaction from here, let's say, and then you would go ahead and test the correct, let's say, order block, which is down here, and then you would continue with the proper movement. As you can see, there is a very distinct pattern right here. This pattern can be something like this one right here, or I will show you some more examples. This pattern can also be something like an M, let's say, something like that, and instantly we can go and just grab all the liquidity below the previous areas. So it does not have to do a very proper consolidation like this one. This exact thing right here is also enough. And sometimes, of course, it will react from this order block, which is the most possible scenario, let's say, and some other times it is gonna be reacting from this one right here. Nonetheless, this is the type of pattern that you are looking at, and the same in a downtrend, the exact opposite actually. Either you would be seeing this thing and then you expect for price to come here. Most people consider that as a change of character. Nonetheless, we are grabbing liquidity below all of those areas, and then we continue with a downtrend. It is the exact same thing. Now, this one that I have highlighted right here is the exact same pattern that you see over here. What is happening here? Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. If I zoom out, we see that we are in a massive uptrend. Okay. Now, of course, we are interested in buying rather than selling. Of course, there are a bunch of sell opportunities as well within these movements, but for the moment we are interested in buying and not selling. Let's go ahead and see what happens. We have 1, 2, let's say, let's start from here, 3, 4, and then we have this consolidation right here, a very minor break above this area, which is a grab of liquidity as well. And then we start retracing and we impulsively break below all of these areas right here. And I will go ahead and delete those lines because I don't want to confuse you. So we go ahead and we break impulsively below these areas right here. Okay, when this happens, most people consider this thing to be a change of character. Since they see this thing as a change of character, they are interested in selling from this area right here. So consider that they have already set their sell limit orders, let's say, exactly at this specific spot. Now that the liquidity has been grabbed below this area, we know that on smaller time frames, people saw this one as support. Okay, so there we go. This is more liquidity being formed. And now, for the third time, there is a bunch of people who are also seeing this one as a support level. Now, again, I have very specific rules, and if I have identified certain things within this area, I might also, myself and my students, take this trade right here. And again, before you say that this is not a real movement, it absolutely is. On lower time frames, you will be able to make huge reward to risk from these tiny movements. You just don't need to be greedy. Now, for the real movement though, more likely than not, imagine that, most people are absolutely impatient. So, what is there below here? There is even more liquidity. and you know that from these areas, these whole areas, from this one, for example, which is a proper structure on a lower time frame, or from this one, which is a proper structure on a lower time frame, or this one, people are looking to buy. And then you come into the game where, of course, as I said, you might take buys from here. You will have won some money here, let's say a solid 3-to-1 reward to risk, as we did the previous week easily from these tiny movements. And you will also get into this trade, which will go ahead now and continue with the overall uptrend. And when you enter this trade, you will go ahead and close partial profits right here in this instance, because there is liquidity above this area, profit to here, and then your final target will be right here. If I scale on a lower time frame right now, you can go ahead and refine those areas, let's say on the 15-minute time frame. And of course, you don't have a bunch of stuff going on here. Probably if you refine it down to this area, you will be losing this trade. You won't be able to enter this trade, but let's check it out. Yes. But if you know about the ChrisFX rules, which I only teach in the courses, you would be able to find the right spot in this area, and you would be expecting this movement to take place. So let's go ahead and show similar examples so that you will get used to seeing this pattern right here. And I will highlight that as a consolidation once again. This is a consolidation, okay? This formation, which is something like that in an uptrend, let's say, boom, retest, we go, okay? And most of the times this is gonna be something like that. So people will want to enter, let's say, in these areas. It will form another area, it will penetrate this area, and boom, go to the right place and then go. Okay, another one that we talked about is something like an M formation, and then we go instantly down. Let's go ahead and search for similar situations on our chart, and you will see how we can easily identify things like that. So this is another situation where you would be expecting to see the same thing. Here you go, right here. In this instance, it did not happen instantly, so we did not go ahead and retrace to this order block down here. Okay, but after this break of structure, of course, most of the people were entering here, more liquidity here. Okay, to be grabbed, it's being grabbed once. We have our proper order block down here, and boom, there we go. And you might be thinking once again, Chris, this is not a real movement to make money out of. You are absolutely mistaken. As a matter of fact, the past week, the only setups that I got were these setups on the 4-hour time frame. Nonetheless, it was an absolutely amazing week. This is another occasion. Let's go and check out yet another occasion. There you go, this would have been another occasion right here. This is more like the M formation that I was talking about. You see, if I zoom in properly, you can see this liquidity being formed right here. If you want, you can be zoomed in a lot. Okay, we wick into this area right here. We do wick into this area and off we go. This is a little bit harder as an example. There you go, another one, and another one, there you go. These formations right here, these consolidations, let's say, where we form a bunch of liquidity below these areas, and you might say, what are you talking about? I'm teaching you gold here. These things are absolute gold, and they are simplified so everyone can understand it. It does not matter if you are a beginner or not. All of these kinds of patterns, it doesn't need to be symmetrical. It can be like that in an uptrend. And I'm just showing uptrend examples here. The exact opposite would be in a downtrend. Okay. And it does not need to be symmetrical. It might be ascending and then boom and off we go. It might be descending and off we go again. A descending example would be this example right here. Okay. This major consolidation. When you see something like that, be absolutely happy. When we break below these areas, it is not a change of character. People who are looking in smaller time frames, for them this thing or this thing are huge movements. Okay, so there is a bunch of liquidity here. For us, it is a consolidation. Boom, perfect reaction, break of structure. Here, descending but still consolidation. Okay, most people in lower time frames, this one, let's say it's this thing right here. Then retracement with this one, it's this thing, and then off we go. So most people are selling right here. What do? We identify that there is liquidity below these areas. We get our order block, we extend it. We even grab liquidity below this order block right here. Here with my rules, I wouldn't have had a trade on this specific pair, but here I would on this one. Let's identify more areas like this one. Okay, this whole thing is an occasion. You can start checking all of those things either when they are minor or major areas, so larger or smaller areas, and you can say the same exact thing. These are the exact same examples that I'm showing here. They're just presented a little bit differently. So check this out right here. Okay, we had this formation, okay, break of structure above this area right here. We have this formation in the purple area, as you see it, inability to break above this area. So most people are now selling like maniacs. But what do we know? We certainly know, when we were right here, of course, we knew that there was liquidity to be grabbed below here. It is grabbed. People are still selling from all of these areas right here. We know there is more liquidity here, more here. Impulsive break, people consider that as a change of character. They are placing the sell limit orders here. We know that we are either entering from this, but 99% of the time, even this is gonna be penetrated, so we are entering from this. Check out this example and compare it with this example that I showed first right here. Okay, was it this one? No, it was this one right here. We have this, we even penetrate below this area and we go even deeper. More formations, more peculiar examples. Okay, we have these movements. When we see this, I would go ahead and say there is a bunch of liquidity here. I would go ahead and identify this whole area. Nonetheless, this is broken again. And then what do we see? Consolidation. You can call it a consolidation, formation of liquidity actually. It is not a consolidation, it's the same exact thing, because people on lower time frames now, they say that here we are selling exactly here. And of course there are sells to be taken here if you are very experienced, but for the moment we focus on the most high probability trades. So liquidity below this area, below this area, it is being grabbed. I know that we might react even from this area, but of course I will check for my rules within this whole area right here. I'm scaling down to the 3 or 1 minute time frame, and according to the bunch of rules that I have, on this trade we would manage to get an enormous percentage. Okay, the exact same thing. Let's check out more examples. Again, this formation here. Okay, liquidity below this area right here, this area right here, this area right here with a small, let's say, reaction, and then we go to this, let's say, whole area where I would be identifying certain things, and off we go. And you might be saying this is in retrospect. Yes, this example is in retrospect, but what I'm calling on Discord is not in retrospect, and you can ask my students, they will confirm that I'm calling trades such as this one. There's a lot of things being said, and this is an industry that fortunately or unfortunately we have to prove ourselves. I didn't want to do it, but yes, with the same exact price, I also have a signal service, and of course you can see if the trades that I'm calling are giving a profit in the long term. Again, in a downtrend here, okay, in this occasion we had the consolidation, we did react from an imbalance and off we went. Nonetheless, we broke below this structure with this one. People are placing their pending orders here. We see this as a bunch of liquidity. and I'm saying consolidation again and again, so for you people who are new, you have an easy way to identify it. Instead of thinking about liquidity instantly, I just place those boxes for you, and then you will be saying that there is orders here, there is orders here, these are all being grabbed. Okay, but what do we have above this area? This area right here. In this occasion, I would even go ahead and identify certain things again on this area, because this might be penetrated as well. Here again, what do you see? Even though we are moving in a downtrend right here, we are just reacting perfectly from this area right here. Okay, and we break structure. We grab the liquidity below all of these areas. So this is what you have to look at on your charts when you see this kind of formation. So either something like that, okay, then people will see that as a change of character, but we will go long in this occasion here. Or either you see something like that, people see that as an ascending, whatever they call it, and they wanna go short forever, but we are going long. Either you see something like that and descending, people think we are gonna have a continuation instantly. We do have this, they're selling right here, many people are selling. Okay, so whichever of these situations you see, you can continue with your overall trend, or even you can take counter trend, let's say, trades only by identifying what I showed you here. Just practice a little bit and tell yourself a story about liquidity. Again and again, you see the same thing happening. Okay, it happens a lot, but of course it needs practice as well. In this occasion here, it wouldn't happen. For example, we see this thing, we have perfect, let's say, entry right here. This would possibly be a losing trade, for example. But here, it's not only the short formations, it is also those long periods, such as this one right here. We grab the liquidity below all of these areas. I would identify this area plus this area down here. If I would see my setups, I would be taking trades from both. And I mean, if this would get penetrated, then I would look on this one when people would only want to sell in this occasion. Simple as that. Go ahead, backtest this thing again, there you go, again and again, a bunch of times, you can see the same thing happening. Okay, in this occasion, I would identify this and I would identify this whole area below it as well. It did penetrate this one as well, grabbed all of the liquidity here and reacted from here. Simple as that. Follow this trick and go ahead and thank me later. And if you want to join the giveaway, just like this video and leave any comment that you want to leave, and I will make sure that I will include you in the giveaway, where I will be giving 2 spots for my courses absolutely for free, and I will use a random number generator live. We will see which day when we will have 100 people in the giveaway. So traders, this is gonna do it for today. Hopefully this trick right here helped you a lot. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.